Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about my dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be ranking my American Girl Truly Me dolls as a continuation from when I ranked my historical dolls in an attempt to help me rank all my American Girl dolls, which will be quite a bit in the future. And before I get started with these particular dolls that I'm going to be ranking, I want to make, I guess, a couple rules or disclaimers. One, it's just going to be the girl Truly Me dolls because there'll be a separate video for the boy dolls, all the boy dolls. And it'll just be the Truly Me dolls that have not been customized anyway, no eye or wig swaps, because there'll be another video for that. But more importantly, I need to, I think, make this point clearer than I did last time, is that I love all my dolls. So even the ones that are at the bottom ranking doesn't mean I dislike them and I'm putting them at the bottom because of that. It's just that I'm just trying to figure out how to rank all my dolls, and nothing serious, nothing deep. It's just for fun. But believe me, if my lowest ranked doll of this batch is one of your favorites, it may mean that yours looks better or we have different taste, but we still have similar taste because I still love all my dolls. I'm saying that because I tried to make that clear last time, and I feel like sometimes some of the ones I rank low, people were like, really? That doll's usually so popular. And I still like the doll, that's why I have it. So now I think I've padded the beginning way too much, that I can just jump right into who I'm ranking. And again, these are only my Truly Me dolls because there are over 100. So that would be a really long video. So I'm only going to rank mine because I've seen them in person. I can judge them fairly. And now, saying that, what I'm ranking is 28 of my 28 Truly Me doll, girl dolls, not customized dolls, is my Truly Me 79. And it's like there was so much padding there because I feel so bad because she's so sweet and so cute. But somebody had to be at the bottom of the list. And her name in my collection is Mary Jane. I've talked about her quite a few times, so if you've seen other videos, you may remember her. I'll bring her a little bit closer to talk about. So first, I'll get the why I ranked her low, like how I was able to finally pick somebody to be at the bottom of the list, even though I love her. So one thing you may see is she has those bad eyes that look downward. And I knew that when I bought her, because I picked her out in stores, she was the best one that they had in my store, which was Indigo, a bookstore in Canada that used to carry them. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have my Mary Ellen collection up on a high shelf. So she's a good doll to put up there because when I have her displayed up high, she'll look like she has the right glance for me when I'm looking up at the dolls, if that makes any sense. But because that is still like an issue with the dolls, it's not something ideal. It's not something you would choose. So I thought, okay, that's a good enough reason to put her at the very bottom. I had to pick something. Okay, I had to look for a reason to make somebody a doll I still love, but had to put somebody at the very end of the pack. And so she's wearing Mary Ellen's birthday outfit and just a pair of of pearls that I got. I bought all these pearls from Michael's so that I can cover as much of my doll's neck joints as possible, because that's a thing I always talk about, and that may become, I honestly don't remember, but it's probably going to come up when I'm ranking dolls lower, to be like, oh, it's because of the body joint or whatever. But anyway, I hope I made it clear. I love this doll, Mary Jane, but somebody had to be at the bottom. And so keeping that in mind, my number 28 doll, or 27 doll of the 28 I'm ranking, is a doll I've named Tawny. And she's extremely unique. And so I would imagine a lot of people love her. And so it may be a little bit shocking that she's at the bottom. But she's Truly Me 115. And when I got her, it was to substitute Tenny in my collection, because for a long time, whether it was because of the hype of people hating her so much and don't like Tawny or Tenny because she's, has a bad history of how she came to be. So I got this doll because I liked her collection. I liked her outfits and stuff like that. And she just seemed like the perfect substitute for Tenny, because people said Tenny was obviously a nod to Taylor Swift. And they said the same thing about this particular Truly Me doll. So I thought, now I don't have to have Tenny because I have Tawny, which makes me confuse her name so much now that I have both dolls. And so even though she's unique, the way I was able to put her nearer to the bottom was I started looking, like I said, looking for reasons. And out of all the Marie Grace mold dolls I have, she would be my least favorite. So that's not her fault. We all like different aesthetics. And so that's what made me kind of decide to put her near the bottom. And I had to play with these lower ranking dolls so much because I kept feeling like bad. And then I'd move one and I'd be like, oh, but I like hers too. And it's like, yeah, you like them all. But anyway, here is, like I said, Truly Me 115. number 27 out of 28, which makes her sound like the doll I like second least. And I think that's the last time I'm going to act so like thin-skinned about this. I'm just going to go on now. I think I've made it clear. And my next doll, okay, I do love her, but it's Kylie, and I feel like I just lied. But anyway, her name is Kylie, but she's truly me. I had to write them down because I never know them. 110. And so obviously she's very busy looking when you look at her because she's so colorful, which is actually what part of what I love about this doll is that I was able to incorporate a lot of Lila's gymnastic outfit and equipment in with her because of all the orange, which I love. And then I love it against all these other like fuchsia and purple colors and blue that she has going on. And she's unique because she's a Jess Mold doll. So is 79. So I put like 2 Jess Mold dolls at the very bottom of my ranking. And that could actually be a part of like like in her detriment being of this mold because of their, one of my favorite dolls is Ivy. And so it's like if I'm looking at dolls when I'm comparing them, just trying to look for things, it was a little bit easier to put her near the bottom just because she's no Ivy, but she is very cute. And so when you look at her, she's got like a really cute freckle pattern. She's the only Ivy mold, only Jess Mold doll who was, in my opinion, and you could interpret however you want, but she's to me Caucasian or white coated because she's got blondish hair and blue eyes and freckles. But I mean, you can still see her however way you choose to. And so that's what kind of drew me to her. And I've had her for quite a long time. And, some dolls took a while to grow on me. And so it's kind of sad that, the dolls that I've had for the longest ended up at the bottom of the list. But I still like you, Kylie. So she was number 26. And 25 is going to be a doll. I don't need to apologize for putting her so low because I had really good reason to put her. Her name is Tiffany. And she is a truly me 123, 123. You can tell by the outfit that I put her into Courtney's world. And so there are some things that I have, you can't really judge your doll's hair in the store. Like if you can pick out the best eyes or anything like that, you're kind of stuck with whatever you have once you take that hairnet off like you weren't expecting. Oh, and I should have said, so if you look at her hairline, it's really funny. It almost looks like like she's worn her ponytail in a really weird way, and it's like made her hairline recede in a funny way. If you don't see it, sorry if I didn't point that out properly. So it kind of like dips down, and it's really hard to make her hair. I love the long, I think these are called sausage curls, just a really long, really spirally curls. I love that about her hair, but because the curls aren't always perfect, you have to really make sure these bad curls, like the ones that don't have a nice factory curl, you kind of hide them. So whenever I do her hair, it's such a challenge because of first her hairline and then trying to situate all her hair in the right ways that you won't see. Well, you can't even see because of the camera, but she just has a lot of janky curls, which any dolls would coming out of the hairnet. But like to sit down and fix all these, I was just like, you know what, let me just move her hair around and make it look as appealing as possible at first glance. And she's wearing an outfit I love, and anytime I show this, I want to let people know it's so soft and so snuggly. So if you or your child wants a doll to snuggle with, this is the outfit to put on their favorite doll, or your favorite doll. If you like to cuddle your dolls too, there's nothing wrong with that. So she's number 25. 25 of my ranking, just double checking. I said that right? Yeah. Truly me 123. And so this next doll, I was surprised that she ended up being so low. Her name in my collection is Divya, and she's another doll I've had for so long. And when I first got her, she was the perfect Sonali substitute because, Sonali's price hasn't really come down that much. Well, actually, it probably has, in fact, but it's still a ridiculously high price. But, any of the older dolls that were really hard to acquire for a while, I believe their prices kind of dipped a little after the CYO shop would include their molds. But she was the one when I first got into collecting, really wanted her, and I noticed everybody said she was the perfect doll to get, even though she doesn't have the same voluminous hair. She doesn't have, she has a thin, short wig. Very straight, very thin. So that doesn't compare to Sonali. So at one point, this doll was really, really high on my list. But then, as time goes on and you get more dolls, I now have, to me, who's the ultimate Sonali mold, which is what a lot of these dolls are suffering from. I didn't mention for Truly Me 123 is McKenna is a much prettier, is a prettier doll. So that's another reason why she kind of if I, put them side by side, she pales a lot aside from the issues with the wig I mentioned. And that's kind of what happened with Divya once I got the limited edition Jasmine doll. This doll that I wanted so badly, and I was so thrilled when I saw that my Indigo had her hidden kind of in their sale section. So I got her on sale, and anyway, I still love her, but she's just, I can understand why she got bumped down quite a bit over the last, I don't know, let's say year and a half. And then the last doll from this batch, because I'm just going to do 6 at a time. So number 23 of my ranking, mathing, is a doll I've named Jasper, and she's Truly Me 90. And even though I do love the bright colored hair dolls, it's funny that 2 of them have already shown up on the, the bottom of this tier, the bottom tier of this ranking. She's a Josefina mold, and so she's one I had to order online. They didn't have her in store, but I really wanted her to go in my local bean playset, and that is one of my favorite playsets. One of my 20 favorite playsets. But no, it is one of my favorite playsets. It's just whenever I talk about anything, it's one of my favorite somethings. So, she's somebody, her eyes are a little funny, and I had to, I kind of have to flick them into place because she's Josefina and her eyes like to run away from each other. Sometimes, once in a while, I can find it really charming on a doll, but on her, I wish it didn't, because when I flick her eye into place, it kind of sinks into her head, and it just doesn't look very cute. But I like the doll. I really love the doll. He said I was going to stop saying that. But I'm saying, aside from that, like, little error or defect she has, she's just a fun, funky, unique doll. So, I love all the blues in her hair, even though I can see why that kind of doll is not for everyone. She is just this little hipster, what is it called, barista, working at the local bean. So I do love her charm. And so now, like I said, doing them in batches. So let me get this first batch up behind me so that I can get to the next tier, the next 6 dolls. So on to tier 2, I'm just going to jump right in with the doll who's number 22 on my list, Truly Me 129, which I would imagine is probably not a very popular doll. Maybe kids would like her a lot, but definitely not adult collectors because of that cotton candy colored type hair. And this is a re-release of a doll who came out before, but the reason I held off on getting because I love this wig. It just reminds me of my childhood, My Little Ponies and things like that. But people really complained about the old one, that that the wig was kind of thin and the hair would fall out. I mean, the hair falls out of all of them, but if somebody's commenting on that, then it made me worry, and that's why I never got her before. So when they re-released her, I'm like, okay, there's nobody to tell me that she has a bad wig right now, so I'm just going to buy her assuming her wig is fine. And it is fine. And because she's got this beautiful color scheme, there's so much that I like, because I love rainbow colored clothes and stuff like that. For me, she really works in my collection. But again, I can see why people find her very limiting, and people don't necessarily love the painted on eyelashes. So I just can't see her being very popular in other people's lists. But considering, what dolls are to come, I consider her actually ranked pretty high at being at 22. And I also have her set up in the local bean, but she's a customer there. That's what you call them, right? Patron at the local bean. So yeah, roast me if you want for loving her so much, but I really do. And then my number 21 doll, number 21 of 28, is Truly Me 16. I've named her Mariella, and you can tell by looking at her, she's obviously another doll who's in Courtney's world. And Courtney, I have a lot of dolls in Courtney's world, so she's not the last you're going to see. And she was an early doll, another doll I bought really early on because I wanted the bangs were really cute. I didn't have a lot of dolls with bangs at the time. You don't really see dolls with bangs anymore anyway. And I just had, because I knew I had this outfit, I had it on a doll previous to collecting American Girl. So I just knew what the look was going to be because I'd already put it together. And I knew this hat was going to look so cute on a doll with bangs. She was going to remind me of the singer from the 80s. She's kind of obscure. I don't know if anybody remember Candy. She was like a young singer. Everybody called her a Madonna ripoff because she sounded a lot like Madonna, but didn't look like her. She looked kind of like this. So that's where I've gotten the inspiration from for her. At the time, I was having trouble connecting with classic mold dolls. And even though I liked her because I could see this vision, I like her a lot more now because the classic mold has grown on me. And she reminds me quite a bit of Be Forever Samantha, even though she doesn't have the beautiful eyes Samantha has. But yeah, another great doll. who I've had a very long time. And so she probably would have been ranked. No, she would have been ranked lower, I think, if I had done this back when I first started collecting. But, because of the mold growing on me, the sculpt, I like her a lot more now than I probably would have before. And so number 20 is a doll I'm surprised was so low, but I figured out a way to make her go low. Her name's Aisha, not Aisha. She's Truly Me, 122. I literally just looked at it and looked away and forgot. And so the reason I would have thought she would be higher is because she's my second favorite mold, the Joss mold. But, when trying to figure out ways to be fair, and I mean, it is my bias because it's my ranking, but, trying to look for reasons to move dolls around because, you just have a connection with all your dolls, I would assume, if you're anything like me. And so the one thing that was a knock against her that I thought, okay, that can knock her down quite a bit is her wig. It's the chunky highlights. And obviously I bought the doll because I like it, but when looking for reasons to, to really nitpick and lower or just figure out where to put dolls on the tiers and the rankings, her bangs, the way they hang, are very hard to work with. So it's like you want to, yeah, they're just kind of a strange bang. Like they cover so much, you almost want to part them in the middle and get them out of her face, but then they look weird. So she's a lot to get set up. But then once I get her set up, she's adorable because she's a Joss mold doll and she's just a cute doll in general. But yeah, the wig, I would have changed a few things about the wig if I had designed her. And I have her set up in Joss's world, so fitting that they don't look anything alike, by the way, because of all the differences, and especially that weird wig that I'm acting like I hate. I don't actually hate it. But the next doll on my list, okay, so she's a funny one to have so high. I'm just looking for where she's written. Oh my. So ranked number 19 out of 28 is my Truly Me 100. I've named her Debbie. And she's another doll who, if I had ranked, a year ago, she probably would have been the bottom of the list. But I have since been able to get this hairstyle on her that makes me laugh in a good way every time I look at her, because teasing doll hair is not easy. But for some reason, I used to have to use like a lot of hairspray and like hang their heads upside down and do all this stuff. With her, I teased it like a little tiny bit and it just did this. And it has stayed like this for months. Like it's clearly not going anywhere. And she just got such she's obviously in Courtney's world too. She's got such a funny, what is it, like her role, I guess you could say. She's just lying in bed listening to music, and she is flipping through the Pleasant Company catalog that came with the mini Molly doll from Courtney's world. So I just really enjoy her in my collection. Her story. The doll I showed before, Tiffany, they're not adoptive, they're stepsisters. Their parents have married, so they're a blended family, and her name is Debbie Jackson. So it's her father marrying Tiffany's mother, and Tiffany is obsessed with Janet Jackson. So the reason they get along so well is because Tiffany is really excited to have Jackson as a last name now that their parents got married. And where am I supposed to put this girl? Her hair is going to cover everyone. Oh, sorry, Mariela. Anyway, so I just looking in the monitor at her wild hair. She's a lot of fun. And so the next doll is also a classic mold. It's Mary Lou. So she's ranked number 18, and she is Truly Me 103. And I really enjoy her as a character, storyline wise, and I love her. This is like my favorite Mary Ellen outfit. So I feel like, it's not fair to rank her so high because I gave her, one of my favorite outfits. And I even spiced it up a little bit by giving her Barbie sunglasses, because that was something that this outfit for me was really missing. And I was tempted to chase her swimsuit, Mary Ellen's swimsuit, because it came with those pink sunglasses that are kind of the same shape, maybe not as drastic, but maybe they are the same ones. But now I don't have to chase it anymore because I got the Barbie, and it matches the white of her shoes, so she just comes together really well. And in Mary Ellen's world, she's the baddie. She's, I think when I was telling about the story, somebody said it was like Grease, so there's probably a girl, and I've seen Grease, it's just I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So if there was a girl in Grease who was really like mean and a standoffish, like, really protective of her girls and doesn't want anyone else coming into that circle, that's who Mary Lou is. And I named her Mary Lou after a horror movie from the 80s called Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, which was set in the 1950s. And the character didn't look like this, but I believe she would have dressed like this from what I remember, but it was a long time ago that I last saw it. And then the last doll on this tier, I believe so it's number 17, and she is Truly Me 117. I've named her Audrey, and she's like a theater kid, so I didn't really develop her story beyond that because this isn't even going to be her outfit all the time. I put her in it for when I unbox these outfits, and I don't have anything, when I say better, nothing else picked out for her. So I don't know, maybe this will be her outfit, but it's just so wintry that it's probably not something I should keep her in all year round. And so what I was saying before about 115, putting her lower on the ranking, is because she is already to me a prettier Marie Grace doll. It's just the the aesthetic that I prefer on a doll, or just an aesthetic I prefer. But where she loses points, and she probably would have ranked higher, is she's another one who has those chunky highlights in her hair. It doesn't look bad because I have this hat on her, and that's probably why I'll always have a hat for her. But it's still nice to see her with, sorry, her as in like the Marie Grace sculpt, with darker hair and these dark brown eyes, because I just always find that more, I don't know, soulful is how I feel when I look at somebody with dark eyes. It's like they have a very soulful expression. And so that's the second tier of my ranking. Let me get these girls behind me and I'll move on to the next batch. All right, on to tier 3. I'm jumping in with doll ranked number 16, and that's Truly Me 82, whom I've named Anushka. And she's an original version of a doll who was re-released in 2 waves ago, I think it would have been. And the doll is very pretty, but as you can see, I haven't shown the other doll yet, so obviously I think the other doll is prettier, which might have bumped her down a little bit in my ranking. She's another theater kid. So she lives in Kavi's backstage and wears the pieces that came with her backstage. So I don't know if I ever found her a better outfit, if I would like her more, or if it, because she's got a really beautiful wig, and I've compared it to the newer dolls, and the newer dolls is not as impressive as the old version of this wig. And I even gave her my favorite name, because my favorite name is Anushka. I don't know why I love that name so much. Maybe, I don't know, it reminds me of my partner's name, who I've never named on here. But anyway, as you can see, no eyelashes painted on. So she's got that softer expression from before. And yeah, there's not much else to say about her beyond that, because I haven't developed much of a story other than she's one of the theater kids. So she and Audrey, who is behind me now, am I blocking her? She's at the very, very end over here. You can't even see over Anushka's head. There you go. So in my mind, they would be friends, but they're not displayed anywhere near each other because of space constraints. And so moving on to doll ranked number 15 is Truly Me 91, Violet. And I talk about her so much that people probably would have thought she was like number 1 or something. But as much as I do love her, there are just dolls who I have just a different kind of connection with, I guess, is all I can think to say. But I just love how, and again, to anyone who's seen me talk about her before, it's going to be the same old that I always say about her. It's the way her hair color ties in with Corinne's figure skating outfit and figure skating accessories. And then when I put her with Corinne, they just look like they were meant to be besties because of the way their colors all tie together. I'm going to show up close again for probably the 30th time on this channel. But really, I just love how she looks and how she comes together. She's so unique. This is the only time they've released the Sonali mold with the deepest skin tone, the 35. And then they went and gave her purple hair and gray eyes. So she's like the most unnatural Sonali as well. Unnatural as in like fantasy coloring. Like that hair didn't grow out of her head that way unless she's secretly going to Rainbow High next year, which wouldn't bother me. I like Rainbow High. So now moving on to my 14th doll of the ranking. So I'm like halfway through now. It's Truly Me 33. I've named her Brienne, which is funny because I think I named her subconsciously after the Maple Lee doll named Brienne. I have Brienne now. I've shown her on here. She's a nightmare, and I've learned to love that nightmare. So before that happened, I bought one of Brienne's Maple Lee outfits to put on this doll. And she's the same story as Anushka over there, as in she's the original release of a doll who later on got eyelashes. And that doll's not on here, so clearly I like her more. But she is really cute. And I've said her, she's so cute. I don't remember if I think I ordered, somebody was selling her locally for a pretty decent price. And then I thought, you know what, I can't have the original version and then not go buy the new version, who will come up later, obviously. Like, I had to come up with some sibling storyline, so I have this pretty big display for only 3 dolls that, other dolls will move in and out, but there are 3 siblings. So this one is named Brienne. Stole her name from Maple Lee. I think I must have. I don't remember doing it like uh, like consciously or saying like, oh, I'm naming her after Brienne, but it must have been this thing that just came in my mind and I went with it. So moving on from number 14, so the 13th doll. Now you're gonna see the Anushka's updated version. So she's Truly Me 108. And I'm glad I could finally show her up close in this outfit because it's such a funny little mishmash. I don't remember what she was wearing before. I changed a lot of my dolls a few of my dolls a lot. The only thing I know about her, so she's, sorry, not the only thing, but the thing about her character, so she's like a fashion, walking the streets of Paris kind of girl. And she's got a couple friends. They're not Truly Me dolls though, so they won't be in this video. But that's her storyline. So she's part of this, and they're all very nice. They're not like mean pretty girls. They're nice pretty girls. And so I think I had her dressed this way in the background for a time because people asked who she was and what this weird outfit. Sorry, they didn't say the weird outfit. I'm saying the outfit's weird, but I think people liked the outfit. And if you're curious, this is the pants and the top are from the Western Chic outfit. The hat, choker, and shoes are all from the birthstone. Whatever month is this cobalt? I don't know what sapphire. No, sapphire is red. I don't know. There's blue sapphire and there's red sapphire, so I don't know which one's which. But this is a. I should have looked that up before I started rolling, huh? But it's a birthstone outfit, and it's just the accessories from it. And then I think this was in a lot someone gave me. Maybe a Janie and Jack purse. I don't know. It looks like Janie and Jack. I just took it off her hand. And then because I've made her French, she's got Grace's bracelet over here. I want to bring her closer, but once her purse is secured to her hand, if it falls off, I'll pick it up later. No big deal. So yeah, like I said, she's 82, but with eyelashes, and her wig is a bit thinner. It's not bad. Like, it's still a very pretty wig. I should have shown you from the back, the other doll too. But, to me, I think I like she edges out Anushka a bit because of the updated paint. I just personally like how eyelashes look, and you either love it or you don't. And so that's why she's probably considerably high on my list for the ranking, considering some of the dolls who I've already shown, lower than she is. So now moving on to ranking number 12 is Truly Me 127. And it could be a combination, because she's ranked pretty high, I would say, for a new doll. And a doll who, this is from the last wave of Truly Me dolls that came out this year. When they all came out, she wasn't one on my list. I think because I already had a Josefina mold doll who had this skin tone, and I've customized her, and I already had a doll with, I have Yvette, so she's got Yvette has the lighter version of this wig. And so it's like another one of those things where, for me, when something comes out, I kind of focus on what I like the most, and then later I'll revisit, like, oh, now that I've got those two, I guess I did kind of like that doll, just not as much as the first two I got. Which would have been Celeste, and she's ranked lower now, so see, I make no sense. But anyway, she also has a really amazing outfit on, so that could also lend to me liking her as much as I do, because the whole point of ranking is I'm ranking my dolls because they're not just the Truly Me, it's the character I've built around them. So she's from the 90s world, and she's wearing I think they call it the inline skating gear outfit. It's a PC American Girl of Today outfit. And if it's not PC, it might be around the transitional time. So she's got this oversized American Girl of Today t-shirt, and aside from the socks, which is the new Truly Me socks, everything is from the outfit as far as I know. I got it all together. I bought it from someone who had it all together, so I just feel like it's a set. And as soon as I saw it existed, I had to have it. So it was such a fluke that the person who, did I mention that's where this cardigan came from? I don't think, or this bolero came from. I know that word now, bolero. I used to call it a shrug. So the person who gave me the lot that had this purse in it also it's an off-brand bolero. So, I mean, if you ever see the shrugs that I have on my dolls, unfortunately, they're not American Girl, except for Mary Ellen's Meat Accessories bolero. And so this is just an off-brand thing. There's no tag inside. So it's very cute because it covers this top here, by the way. It's just straps and very cloth body showy. So that's why she has it on there. And I forgot to mention that because I was laughing at myself for not knowing which birthstone this is. I'm always not knowing something when I'm doing these videos. And so the last doll for this tier is ranking number 11, and she's Truly Me 72. And I think I forgot to mention earlier, that because when you go and pick out a doll in store, you can pick out the best eyes possible, like the best glance. But this doll wasn't in store. I bought her from Indigo earlier this year, and I bought her to go in this outfit. So I knew that I wanted this. Okay, first of all, this outfit was originally on, I think I just tried it on Anushka. Her name wasn't Anushka yet. I hadn't developed her character. And so she wouldn't be named Anushka if she were Islam or Muslim. So I tried it on her. The hair was too much to go inside to fit with, I couldn't put it inside the dress. I couldn't fit it under anything. So I decided I was going to buy a doll with no wig to be this character. And so when I ordered her, it was online. And when she showed up, so I'm not someone who, if I get a doll, I order it online and it doesn't have nice eyes, or her straps. I'm fidgeting with her strap back here. Sorry, I'll focus. When I order dolls online, oftentimes I've said that my Josefina mold, especially, their eyes are all over the place, and I'll do my best to flick them in place, put them on a shelf, and not touch them. And I won't return them. I won't be like, oh, the eye's off center. This is not perfect. And I'm not making fun of people who do that. That sounded very mocking, but I just mean, like, that's not something I would do. And so when this doll arrived, it was my first time where I was like, oh, I'm going to have to return her. She's got this eye that looks like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, that's looking off to one side. And it's not like I can't flick it back into place because it's just the way the eye is in there. Like, I would have to warm up her head. This is before I was doing any eye swaps too. I would have to warm up her head and move them around that way. And I didn't want to mess with that. And then the next day I went and looked at her, and something about it, she just looked so sweet to me with the eye being off to center. Like, I feel like I've known kids who look like that, and they're very cute, and she just have an off glance, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I felt like I loved her this way, and so it was almost like I wouldn't have chosen this. Her name is Zara, by the way. I don't even think I said that, and I'll get into her character a bit more in a second. So I don't think I would have chosen this particular. What did I say? She was 72. Truly Me 72, right? I wouldn't have chosen her, but because she chose me coming in the mail or in the post, it was the perfect fit because I really do love the way her face looks. It's very sweet with the offset glance. So what I was getting to before trying to, her story is she's from an Afghan family who have immigrated to North America. Sometimes I don't know if it's America. Oh no, they're in America. And so she and Divya, who is like right behind her, if you look, where is it? Right here. That's Divya. I already showed her before. So they were supposed to be rivals because they both want to be the top of the class and school president. And then they decided, why are we fighting? We are on this, we're the same. We should just, team up and become co-presidents for the school. And so that's their story. And they really bonded, even though they come from different religions and different backgrounds, that has like strengthened their friendship. So that's kind of what their story developed into. And I've mentioned their religions. I think it's obvious that Divya would be Hindu and she's Muslim. And so I just never got into that detail before because it's like, I don't know, it could be touchy for people. I'm not religious, so I try to be a little careful when I'm talking about religion because I do want to be respectful as, people, whether they have different beliefs from other people, they all exist and that's all that matters. So that's why sometimes I'm touchy about the way I approach certain topics in my videos. It's like I'm a little bit, I don't know if cowardly is the right word, but yeah, so that's a little bit more to their story, and they have a very sweet friendship in my world and my story. So now this is this third batch, I said, right? Yeah, looking at the numbers behind me. So let me clear them out and get on to batch number 4. All right, jumping into tier number 4 with my top 10 of all the Truly Me doll girls I own. I'm going to start this batch with Stacy, who is Truly Me 106. And she's a doll who I think even if I didn't put her in this really cute outfit in the 80s world, which is obviously a very beloved world for me because I don't know, this is probably like the third doll I've shown from that world. She has such a cute outfit, and I just love, the Addie mold has grown on me so much. I think in the beginning I found it, I don't know why, but all of them would have been jarring to an extent, but the Addie mold I found pretty jarring at first. But now I look at it, I'm like, how could I have not loved it from first sight? Because, as you get more dolls and see, it's a lot of it that's seeing them in person. So with her, I love her wig. It's very versatile because, you know, I have her with the side pony because she's in cliche 80s doll. But before I did this, there's so much you could do with it. I've re-wigged another doll with her wig, and it's just a very fun wig to work with. And so she's just got on a mix and match of Courtney's collection because that's what Courtney's collection is, mix and match. And her character is, she's like a little gossip. She knows everybody's business. And so she's, you know, she gets to pick and choose who knows what about who. And I feel like I've known so many people like that throughout my life. I mean, within, you know, it's all within fun. It's not like she's not out here creating rumors. She's just repeating things that actually are true. So that's their fault. It's on them. It's not on her. She's just repeating it. And so I find her a very funny character in Courtney's world. And so, like, if there's going to be a party, she's the one doing all the planning. She's the one who decides who's coming. You know, if this drama is going to happen, she knows, oh, don't bring her tonight. She's gonna cause a war with so and so. So she's a good friend to have, is the way I see it. And moving on to my number 9 doll, it's Truly Me 58, Elsie, and I've shown her quite a few times on here because she's so cute. And I know it's another Addie Mold doll. I guess all my Addie Mold dolls made it to the top 10. Must be a reason for that, right? And so I'll talk about her. I've talked about her a lot on here, and I'll tell something I haven't told before after I tell the stuff I already have told. She's wearing Rebecca's school uniform with Claudie's socks and shoes, meat socks and shoes. And she's got the locket from Samantha's Be Forever accessories, but it's turned around just to look like a plain heart. And she now currently lives up in Angelo's bakery. So she's part of Claudie's world. She's one of Claudie's friends. And I originally had her just as a doll that would move around. She didn't have an era, because the thing is, the reason I bought her, and this is what I've never told before, because it's not embarrassing, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of corny, I guess. So when my partner was leaving, my partner goes to India every year for about 2 months because he lives here without his family. And so to go back home, he, you know, misses them. So we spend as much time there as he can. And so whenever he goes, it's almost like my brain goes, oh, now I have a reason to buy a doll. So let's find someone who's going to be very special. So the reason she was going to be this like time traveler, quantum leap kind of doll is because I didn't want her to have an era. I wanted her just to sit out on the couch, be near me. So I think if I liked to touch my dolls, I don't, because I don't want to ruin them. I don't want to, for videos, fine, but I don't want to sit there holding them and having the oils from my hands seeping into them. So I think if I were going to ever snuggle a doll, she would have been a snuggle doll, but instead she was just like a sit near me doll while I was adjusting to my partner being gone for a long time, which is, you know, it's nice to miss your partner. So that's not me complaining in any way, but it's just, that was the story behind why I bought Elsie, because I wanted this really cute doll who would just like cheer me up to look at her in this wig. How can you not feel cheered up when you look at this wig? So I love Truly Me. I said 58, right? She's just Elsie to me, and yeah, 58. Okay, so that's why she's just this adorable doll who, you know, he's been back for a long time, so it's not like she had to stay like on the couch beside me. She eventually needed somewhere to go, so she's found her way into Claudie's collection. And, you know, to anybody who hasn't seen how sweet this doll is, either from my videos or just in general, she's just such a unique. She's not just a unique doll who's very, very sweet. I don't like her in her stock photos. The wig looks so strange. It doesn't look anything. To me, it doesn't look like this. It's almost, at first I thought, oh, which doll is this? Because she looks like 58, but she has cuter hair. But that's 58's hair. So, it's getting late, by the way. I always do this. So the next doll in my top 10 is number 8. Right? Yeah. So, and it's Truly Me 21. I named her Charisse. Pretty much, I think I named her because I knew I was going to put her in this outfit, and she's in Mary Ellen's world. And I feel like she is probably the first doll who made me really understand the charm of the classic mold. But none of my other classic mold dolls look like her. And if I put her close, hopefully you can see what I mean. Do you see the shape of her eyes? How they're not very round. They're close to yeah, I would say I'm looking over a PC doll right now, like a Pleasant Company doll. And the Pleasant Company dolls, classic mold dolls, looked like this. This was the eye shape they had. And she's Mattel, like she's hard-bodied. And so that's why I thought that Mattel evolved or developed their classic mold to get the bigger, rounder eyes, like it's something they chose. But then I started hearing people saying that Mattel had to redo the mold because they couldn't, I think, like they couldn't buy the rights. So I'm not saying this is true, this is just what I heard. So it made me think, oh, is that why the eyes changed? But then pulling her out for the video, I was like, no, that can't be true because she wouldn't have had these eyes. And I just want to bring her close again because this is what made me fall in love with this doll. I just thought she had the sweetest face. Like, I thought she was okay in stock photos, but somebody was selling her locally. And I just looked at this doll, the specific version of this doll, and was like, I have to have her. I have to figure out where to put her in my collection. And even though she's classic mold, I need her. So that's why she's in Mary Ellen's world. She sits on the sofa, the couch, depending on what you call it in your region. And yeah, so she was kind of like the beginning of me opening my mind to the classic mold. And so this, as cute as this outfit is, I have to put pearls on her too because the neck shows. And when I went to pull her out for the video, I discovered the necklace had come undone, so I have to fix that. I don't know why I had to add that stupid little detail in, but my cute little Charisse, Truly Me 21. Oh, and there are two versions of her. I have the one with the pink curls, which I think I knew that when I bought her that she was luckily the one with the pink curls, but I think the ones without the pink curls might have come later, so they probably wouldn't have those oval eyes. They would have been like bigger and rounder. So I probably would have wanted a newer one without pink curls anyway. And now my number 7 doll, her name is, Truly Me 125. I thought that was it. And I've shown her so many times. Like, it's like I always want to hide her if I'm ever putting her in a video. Like, I don't want her being the thumbnail because she's been in so many thumbnails that it's like you wouldn't know which one video from the next. So she is the reason. Again, another doll from the newest wave this year, along with the rainbow hair doll I showed earlier, and 127. So when the first wave came out, there was something about her I think I liked her curls, and I know she's an upgraded or updated version of an older doll, but to me they look so different that I wouldn't have expected that they were the same doll. And I don't even remember the doll's number. I just know she has blonde curly-ish hair, and then I guess she must have hazel eyes too, Josefina mold. So now I was nervous, of course, ordering her because I do not have luck with Josefina molds, but look, I finally got a good one. So I feel like this is probably, let me look at her face on because imagine she has funny eyes. No, her eyes look good. So her eyes sit nicely. So when I get a Josefina mold doll with good eyes, it's because I do love the Josefina mold if it didn't suffer from those defects. And it must be something in the mold that makes guys do that because it doesn't happen at the same like ratio as it does with Josefina dolls. And I ordered her knowing that she was going to be Canadian. I think she was the first doll I could say identified as specifically Canadian. I was going to put her in this Maple Leaf outfit, and she's got to get her winters on soon because she's probably freezing. It's already cold in Canada. It's end of November, so of course, already the end of November. And she's got Birkenstocks on, so I'll be changing her very soon. And yeah, so I got her to be like a representative of me, as in like we're both Canadian, that's all. But she doesn't like represent me. She doesn't look like me. I don't have hazel eyes, and so she wasn't meant to be me aesthetically or anything aside from Canadian. And that's why probably she's ranked so high too. It's a little bit of a bias. I can't help it. I'm Canadian. And the number would be next 6. The number 6 doll of my ranking is Truly Me 1. I look at it and then I look away and I forget. Bird Brain 102. And it's so surprising that she's so high because she's a classic mold doll. And I blame my oddly like deep love for Starla for Truly Me 102 on the fact that the first time I really took notice of her, she was wearing what is probably my number 1 most favorite American Girl outfit. When they re-released the Holiday Magic outfit, is that what it's called? You know, the one where she's got the muff and the ear muffs, and it's just this velvet dress or top, and then tulle skirt. It's just so pretty, and it's so, you know, winter magical. And so I think because I saw her for the first time in that outfit, I was surprised at how much I liked her. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get her because she's classic mold, and I don't really like classic mold. But if I ever did get a classic mold, it would be her. And it took me a really long time to get her because this is the big sister of the doll I showed before, Truly Me 33. And I honestly don't remember if I got her because there was some kind of sale. I remember there being some kind of sale when I got her. I don't remember what it was at this point. And I tried to remember, so it's not that I didn't try, I just forget because it's been a while. So many dolls. And so I bought her in conjunction with the Truly Me 33 to make them sisters. And if you remember 33, I've shown them together before, so that's not that big of a deal if they're not seen right now. But as you can see, there's just she looks more mature than the 33 because of all her makeup. And yeah, I guess I gave her a more mature looking outfit too because I see her as the bigger sister named Starla. And I don't think I will ever have anything new to say about her. So let me move on to my number 5 doll. And I'm looking over at her because there's something so specific I love about this doll that anybody who's seen me talk about this doll will know exactly what I'm going to say before I say it. But her name is Macy, and she's Truly Me 112. And obviously I got her to go with the doll I called Tawny in the very beginning of the video. And I got them to be like a singing duo. And these are not the boots. These are the boots from the Southwest travel outfit that I'm just going to try on different outfits, see how I feel about it, because I love the boots, but I don't love them with that outfit. And since she's, country western kind of a singer or bluesy kind of singer, I thought this is probably the right doll to try it, at least for a while, see why I love it. But what I love about this doll, her wig, and anytime I mention her, it's such a fun wig to play with because you can make it look, you can put in little pigtails, you can just let it go as free as it wants to be, it's just so manageable as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can just put it in a way and it just kind of stays, and it's honestly, I just love this wig and wish one day they'll, maybe try in different colors, we could see like a little blonde version of it or something. It would be great to see more of this wig. So yeah, out of the Truly Me dolls, I guess she's my highest ranked Nolly mold. Yeah, I'm only ranking the ones I have, and it doesn't even matter the ones I don't have. Because if I love them, I would have them, right? Unless they're expensive. So anyway, I think I'm stalling because I'm about to go on to my top 4 dolls. Ooh. So let me get these girls out of here and just do the last tier. I'm on the final tier, which means it's my top 4 Truly Me dolls in my collection. And the first one I'm going to start with, it's probably, if anybody was trying to guess who would be at the top of my list, they wouldn't have guessed this doll would be so high up because they probably don't even know this doll exists. But she is Truly Me 121. Her name is Efrat, and it's like I haven't had the right opportunity. I've shown her recently because of trying to show dolls I don't show as much on my channel. So it's funny that a doll I don't show very often on my channel is a doll I love so much. It's the doll itself for sure. She's a beautiful Joss mold doll. Out of the 2 Truly Me's, she's, in my opinion, way prettier because of the wig. But I've also named her Efrat, which so her story has a very personal meaning for me, which I'm not going to get into here because it's about ranking. But I am finally going to get to talk about her a little bit more when I dress my dolls for Hanukkah, near the end of December. So I can just show you how beautiful this doll is, if, in case you don't see enough of her otherwise, because she's another doll that I feel like doesn't get a lot of, I just don't know. I don't hear a lot of people really praising this doll. So she's Joss with like fairer skin. The other Joss mold doll I show has a medium skin tone, and then she has like a medium to dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. So she's just very beautiful. And I've got her set up in Lila's meat outfit, but with these are just Truly Me shoes. I don't think they were hers. I don't remember anymore. They're the short ones. And then this Truly Me, what do you call it, accessory set. And then she's got the Star of David from the Hanukkah celebration outfit, which I'll be putting on her next month. And then just some buttons. I have her sitting in the community center, the table. There's like this activity table, that playset that came out when The World by Us came out. And so she's sitting there all by herself. I have to figure out a friend for her one day, but for now, she's just sitting there making buttons, mind her business. But yeah, I can't wait to tell a bit more of her story and what it means to me. And she's precious aside from that, but also I think because I like her so much, I put that very personal story on her. All that poor pressure on her for that. And now my number 3 doll, when I started out, I should have made it clear that I'm including American Girl of Today dolls, so people would have seen my Pleasant Company girls coming. So this is a Girl of Today number 11. Her name is Nevis, and I have her in this like orange, what is it called? The hoodie outfit from around 2011, I think. And then she's got the skateboard accessories from early 2000s. And now the thing about her, what the big draw to her was, not just because she's a number 11 in a PC body, so she's got that old squishy body. She also has a really unique silvering, eye silvering. So let me bring her closer up. And because she's got what looks like a birthmark in that one eye, I named her Nevis, which sounds nice as a name, but it probably sounds less nice when you know that that's just a scientific term for a birthmark. And so she's a little bit tricky I display her on the skateboard, but she's a little bit tricky, so I'm hoping she doesn't do any kind of face planting. And I feel like this is my last time to show her as a truly me, because I've decided I might swap out her eyes. Not all the time. I might put her, these might be like, I don't know, her name is Nevis, and it can stay that way even if I swap out her eyes. But I have amber eyes from Lila. They're the same skin tone. So I might just give her those amber eyes a lighter brown. And, you know, I even have a Tenny. I could swap out the decal brown because, you know, this doll, obviously she's number 3. So no, number 2. Who am I? Oh, number 3. I'm looking around doing counting. So obviously I love her a lot. And it's not just because she's new. It's like, this is a beautiful doll that I never would have expected to have in my collection because she's so hard to find. But someone was selling her in Canada. And when I came across the listing, it was on Facebook. So I'm just, you know, I'm in American Girl Facebook groups just to buy. That's all I'm there for, is this. See what's up for sale, because I hate myself, I guess. And I'm always trying to like fit more dolls in. And when she showed up, I saw the price tag and I'm like, oh, that's USD. That's too bad. And I was like, oh, no, it's it's like Canadian. So that's in CAD. So that's like a really good price for her. So I like snatched her up. And I think that she was probably priced pretty decently, fairly, because of the silvering. But for me, that was part of the bonus, because I first, I don't know, it probably sounds stupid, but I've always wanted a doll with silvering. And I thought I wanted an Addie, like not an Addie mold, but an actual Addie doll with silvering. So this was like either the best thing or next best thing, because it's a girl of today doll who is very rare and so unique for Addie. Because I wish they would bring back these black, like true black wigs with the bangs. So precious, but no, that's probably never going to happen because Mattel. And now my number 2 doll is also an American Girl of today, and she shot up as soon as I got her. She shot up to one of my top dolls. This isn't her best look. This isn't her best outfit, but I did want to show it because she's about to go into her what I call meet outfit, but it's a wintry outfit. And this is American Girl of Today, or Truly Me 12, but it's the Pleasant Company version. So like Nevis, she's got the squishy vinyl, and she's got, you know, the old pie bangs and the long, just, you know, straight flowing hair. And she's wearing an outfit that I only acquired recently, an American Girl of Today outfit called the Paisley dress outfit. So it was like part of the talent show set that came out in 2003, I believe. And when I did the unboxing, I put the accessories for it on the wrong doll and the wrong outfit. But, you know, and then I put them on her. And so I ended up putting her into Melody's world. So she's like Melody's best friend in the 1960s. And when I put this all together, I thought, oh, you know what? She looks kind of like a hippie from the 1960s. I'm sure it's a modernized version, and there are some things about it that are anachronistic. But because I'm about to change her back into her meet outfit, which is to me very 1960s, even though it's not, it's fine. She's going to go from hippie back to her normal mod kind of self, because that's how I see her, as more of a mod girl than a hippie girl. So let me bring her up closer. Because, you know, the glasses covering her eyes, I just wanted to show them because they're really cool glasses. A little Elton Johnny maybe, but I don't know. I still love them. And oh, and the necklace, just so you know, I've tightened it so that it covers the neck joint, because it's a dangling necklace. But how many times have I mentioned in this video that the neck bothers me, seeing the neck joint? Not as often as usual, that's for sure. So here's my number 2 doll. And I feel like my number 1 doll would have probably been obvious from the get-go. Should have been obvious. It is my Truly Me 4, Choi Hung, which is Cantonese for rainbow. And she's wearing the other outfit from one of the other outfits from this set that came out. And I had to accidentally put the accessories on her, thinking they were hers, because I thought she was a singer, but I guess she would have been the singer of the group, because there's a microphone that goes with this. So my my Truly Me number 4 is completely perfect. I was able to buy her locally. There's a long story. I ended up going into some guy's storage locker. It felt very sketchy. You know, the first time I did a long version of the story, so I can just kind of give like the spark notes. That, you know, the first time I went to meet him was like a 25-mile drive, 50 kilometers, very far. It was 45 minutes to an hour drive each way, if I remember correctly. It was very cold. He stood me up, didn't respond to my messages when I went all the way out there, waiting in my freezing cold car. And, you know, then he was like, I'll drop some of the money off. And I loved it all so much. I was like, let me think about it, which is my way of saying, why am I pretending to play hard to get? I know I want this doll. I know I'm going to go back. You know, that $20 is the $20 he's taking off is less than I would have spent in gas. Man, I'm Canadian. I can live with the cold that I had to suffer through. But then when I went back, the address he gave me turned out to be a storage locker, and it was just really, really sketchy. It felt sketchy from the outside, but once the guy came out, I was like, okay, I'm just being paranoid. but if not paranoid enough because I still went through with it. So that's why this doll isn't just special because she's so rare. You know, she's the only time they've done this mold, even though they did it, you know, there's a PC version. I have the Mattel version. And at the time I bought her, I was happy I got the Mattel version because I would say I prefer the Mattel bangs, but one day I'm probably going to want the PC version just because it will feel like a different doll. And because she's so cute and there's only one version of her, one truly like released as Truly Me 4, even though she looked different in different iterations. Because on top of there being a PC version of her and this Mattel version, there's also, I don't think it's in stock, but there also has been a doll hospital version of her. And leave it up to Mattel, they've made her eyes bigger. I don't know about rounder, but they're definitely bigger. They're almond shaped, but they're just bigger and she looks, again, very different. So it's like if I ever saw the doll hospital Truly Me 4, please don't send me a link because I would probably spend too much because it was so cute when I started. It just looked so different. And I usually don't like I said, like on Truly Me 21, I preferred the oval eyes and the smaller ones. So I don't know. I guess it's just the variation that caught me. So can't help it. Truly Me number 4 is my number one Truly Me doll. And if I ever was so flaky to change that, I would be very mad at myself because everything I went through and the price I spent on her, she would have to be a favorite forever. Even if I'm just being stubborn and there are other dolls. Like if there are other dolls here that I like more, my brain won't let me know it. So she's definitely my number one Truly Me doll. And now I'm going to add them to the display behind me and then just do that last minute shot like I love to do when I get all my dolls together. It's like, it's for you, but it's really for me. I feel like this is definitely the best time to show all my Truly Me girls together and to rank them because I don't have any more on my wish list currently. I know that always changes and sometimes you just see a deal. But for now, here are my 28 girls from the bottom rank upward. And I don't know, if I ever get more Truly Me dolls, I don't think I would need to do this again because I don't know how much it would really change that much. It wouldn't be that fascinating. But it has been fun going through all my dolls and just like really thinking, scrutinizing, like, who do I love more and why? Because on the surface you say, I love all my dolls. I love them all equally, but that's just never true. So thanks for everyone who joined me on this second ranking and what's going to be a series until I can rank all my dolls. And that's going to be fun to record, but that's future Blaine. He has to worry about that. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon in the next one.